Good morning. Feels like a Sunday. Good morning. Sure my deck is working. Good morning, all. Let me pop on over to my, oh, there we go. Good morning, all. Oh, I gotta stop getting on here before I meditate, but on the weekends, it is hot in my room. But if I open the window, then it's gonna be really cold, right? So let me get my water, get through this, and get a sweater on. So good morning. Yeah, I was saying I gotta stop coming on here before I meditate. But the past 2 days, I've taken time to just kind of like lay in the bed and just be, and sometimes scroll through my phone, which is a thing I try not to do. But there are times when I grab my phone to turn off my alarm, and once it's in my hand, I start looking through things. But I need to get back to meditating before I get on here. All right, good morning. So I want to talk about healing and the need for everyone to heal, which is beautiful. And I was thinking about this. So I was cleaning off my bedside table this morning, and I have these herbs for a yoni steam. And I haven't done it yet. I haven't done a yoni steam. I keep saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It hasn't been something that's called to me to do. It hasn't felt like it's a necessity for me to do a yoni steam. And in the process of that, I thought about how many women are running to yoni steams, yoni pearls, yoni eggs, courses, classes, groups, massages, like running to all of these things in an effort to heal. All of these things are great. This is not, I have no issues with any of the methods. I've got like 7 yoni eggs myself. The method isn't the issue. It's, are you doing the thing because you feel called to it, or are you doing the thing because it's trendy? Are you doing the thing because you see everybody else online for yoni eggs and you figure, well, that's where you should go too? And we need to have discernment in what we need to help us deal with whatever we need to unfold for our own souls and our own selves. Healing is not a do thing, it's a be thing. And because we've been raised in such a masculine centered, nothing wrong with the masculine, it's just that there's no balance. We've been raised in such a masculine centered society where we're thinking through everything. As women, that has harmed us because we're not feeling through anything. We're thinking through it, and we're trying to be so intellectual about our healing. And we're trying to understand it. And we're trying to do these things. If I do these 5 things, then my life will be better, and I will be healed, and my womb space will be good. And then we do the 5 things and ain't shit changed because we haven't embodied the thing. Many of us are trying to use healing as a way to bypass the journey. Like, I'm in pain. I have womb issues, right? Let me go get a yoni steam. I have womb issues. Let me take a hula hoop class, get my sacral chakra working. I have womb issues. Let me use a yoni egg. No, it's, I have womb issues. Let me sit and feel into the pain of what my womb is telling me. I have womb issues. Let me learn how to be inside of my body and feel into what it is that's truly happening down there. And then let me do a yoni steam, because that's what will help break that free. And or let me use a yoni egg, because that will help break that free. You see the difference? One is oh my gosh, I'm having issues. You know what? Somebody told me that, yoni pearls will work. So if I just put those in, it should all be fine. You haven't connected anything here. There's no way to bypass the pain of unraveling what it is that's causing the issues. And I use womb because there are a lot of people doing a lot of womb stuff now, which is great. But you need to understand why you're doing it, not just run out and do it. The only tool that I personally think everyone should do, and you don't need to understand why, but you need to do it, is meditation. Because meditation is the one thing that will help you get in tune with those other parts so that you can figure out what to do. But the reason why some of you are not seeing shifts and changes in your life is because you're trying to make your life better in spaces where you no longer belong. You're trying to make your life better without acknowledging the things or the events that may have happened to you. You're trying to heal yourself. It's like, and I've heard this analogy before, it's like an alcoholic trying to heal themselves in the middle of a bar. You have to extract yourself sometimes from the people, places, and things. And again, that's really difficult for a lot of people to do. And it makes sense. These are human things we're talking about, not oh man, I suck, or I'm bad because I can't do these things. These are some of maybe the limitations of us being human, where we want to stay with our families, even though some of the people who caused us this pain, they're right there. But because we feel that we have to be loyal here, we'll figure, I'll stay in this situation and deal with these people, and I'll just come over here and get a yoni steam. I'll stay in this situation and deal with these people, but I'll just, I'll go on a retreat, and then I'll be able to come back, and I can handle it then. You're healing, and some of us have turned healing into like a master's degree program. like, all right, I took this course, now I'm gonna take that course, now I'm gonna take that course. I was one of them. This is what I'm saying, is that I was one of these people running from thing to thing, trying to find the thing that would save me. I wanted to be saved, and I wanted the course to do it. I wanted the program to do it. I wanted the facilitator to do it. And I wanted to read the books and get the knowledge, but I wasn't ingesting it. I wasn't taking it in. I wasn't making it part of my DNA, part of my cellular structure. I wasn't allowing what was coming at me to penetrate me and get into the fullness of who I am. And so the process was a little slower than I would have liked. It wasn't until I began to allow the things that I was learning to get in my body that the change started to happen, and happen exponentially. Healing is not a masculine thing. It's not. It's a feminine thing, because it's a very unknown thing. The variables are unknown. The methods you might use are unknown. The outcomes are unknown. It is a feminine thing. And because it's a feminine thing, that means we cannot know it. We have to feel it. You cannot know the word healing feels so overused. I like, rediscovery, uncovering, because you came in you and it's just shit got piled on. Stories got piled on. So it's like digging underneath all that stuff and excavating you from underneath it. And in working through those stories, unraveling that so it's not the fabric of your life. That requires you to feel all of the emotions, all of the emotions, the fear, the sadness, the grief, the anger. You will not be able to step into your authentic self if you do not allow yourself to feel through all of the spectrum that comes along with that. And no yoni steam is going to do it for you. No yoni egg is going to do it for you. At the end of the day, you have to do the work. Much like magic working, those pieces are tools to assist the work you're doing. They're not designed to do the work for you. No program you join, no workshop you join can do the work for you. What you will get from those things are tools and knowledge to help you do what you need to do internally. But it does not do the work for you. At the end of the day, you're the one who's going to have to go down that path. You're the one who's going to have to crawl across the floor, crying, pounding your fists, coming out on the other side feeling like you just got washed clean of all of it. No one else, nothing else can prevent you from having to do that. Some of you are looking for too many explanations for things, just too many explanations for things. Well, how? What do you mean? What is that? I just want to understand here, so I can put it in my Rolodex of what this means here. Feel it. When you hear the word, what happens in your body, feel it. We're so afraid to be wrong. And you're going to be wrong. And that's okay. And ask for help, right? It's okay to do that too. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I don't really know how to feel this in my body. When I didn't start feeling shit in my body until 2016. The journey that you all have seen me on, for those of you that are like here, this has been a condensed 4-year, like whoosh. Now I've been studying much of what I talk about since I was in my teens, studying it, practicing psychic power stuff, playing with Ouija boards, journaling, communication skills and all of that, all the witchy stuff, all of that. But it wasn't in my body. And so the work wasn't showing up in my life. I mean, you can't continue to do this type of work and your life look exactly the same or worse. If it does, something might need to be adjusted somewhere. So for me, I could not feel much. When I was 15 and I was going through a huge depression. And I'm saying this because I don't think we understand what it means to feel emotions. And I don't think we understand what it feels like when we cannot. So when I was 15 and my parents like split, right? And I didn't think that that affected me. I didn't. I was at high school. I was away. I was at boarding school, and it was that fall. And so I wasn't home when my father moved out. And while you have, sometimes you just don't like your parents and all that. But I was very much a daddy's girl when I was little. But my parents were not getting along, and I, like, intellectually, I knew that this was probably the best thing to bring our house peace at 15. Like, I knew that, but I didn't realize that it affected me personally. And so when I started over ODing, I mean, I wasn't dying. When I started taking an excessive amount of Sudafed and Actifed, excessive, like, how am I alive? Do you know that they use Actifed to create methamphetamine? I found that out years later. So when I started taking excessive amounts of Sudafed and Actifed, I did not correlate that with what was happening at home, because I wasn't there, first of all. And I figured this is a good thing. I went into a deeper depression than I had when I was 10. I didn't correlate that with that either. I was lying to get the medication. I was going to the infirmary, to the nurse, to feign sickness in order to get extra Sudafed and Actifed. So Sudafed makes you sleepy. It's what you're supposed to take when you go to bed, when you have a stuffy nose and a cold. Actifed is what you're supposed to take during the day. I would take them combined. I would take Sudafed. I would take like 6 Sudafed, get drowsy, take 4 to 6 Actifed to boost me back up again. Like, I'm thinking about it now, like, what in the fuck? I didn't realize I didn't want to feel anything. And when my friends did like an intervention, and I went to see the counselor, and she asked me about what I was feeling, it was like there was a metal plate in my chest at my heart chakra. Actually, I remember my description was, it was like a metal plate with a brick wall built over it in my chest. I could not feel sadness. I couldn't feel grief. I could feel like happy and joy and like normal, but I couldn't feel sadness, grief, and anger. My body wouldn't allow me to feel that. It was because I felt like once I started to feel those emotions, my whole like I was going to explode from the inside. Like there was no way I could even begin to let myself let that out. Even I had to control it. I had to control it. I can feel me as my 15-year-old self, like I had to control it. And it stayed that way. And so when I'm gonna come back to that story in a minute. When we're talking about wanting to heal ourselves, we cannot do it and try to control the emotions at the same time. And many of us are scared of what happens if I let that thing start to bubble and come out of me. Like folks around me are going to feel the fallout. And so instead we go, I'm going to go get a yoni steam. I'm going to put a yoni egg in, and it'll help me. It'll help me maintain the facade and the control. It's not going to work that way. And so because I wasn't able to feel that grief, and I wouldn't allow myself to feel the things, I ended up in a marriage that I'm so grateful for. that some of you might still call toxic and abusive. I don't use those words anymore because I was also toxic and abusive. So since we both were, let's just not do that. You don't find yourself in a toxic relationship because you're healthy. Let me be very clear. Right? Toxicity means like it's like poison, but sometimes you have to poison works through your system for you to be able to be stronger and better. So if you find yourself in those situations, it wasn't like that person did it and you're somehow absolved. I no. You were a player. I was a player in the choice of person. He was a player in the choice of person. And he and I had these conversations afterward. And also the understanding that our combination together just wasn't going to work. So because I was not able to feel and process my grief, I found myself in unhealthy situations that taught me that I had to learn how to process my sadness, my grief, and my anger. I was not going to be able to achieve the life that I wanted to without allowing myself to feel into those emotions. And it was scary because I wasn't raised in a house where I was allowed to feel grief, sadness, and anger. First of all, as girls, there's some type of idea that we're just not supposed to be that way. As girls, we're not supposed to be angry. We're not supposed to be mad. I think there's some saying in the South, something about mad dogs fighting. I don't even remember. But we're supposed to be happy and smiling all the time. And we're supposed to put our best foot forward. And we're supposed to always put on good appearances. And we're all supposed to always be okay while we crack up inside, screaming for someone to come and save us. And the only person who can save us is us. So I didn't know how to express anger. We just didn't do it. And it wasn't until I was with a man who could clearly express his anger. He could do the thing that I could not. And he could express his anger in all the ways. And he had no, but that was because of the things that had happened to him, right? And so from him, I learned like there was no way I could be with him without finally beginning to express some anger. And there was no way I could be with him without having to acknowledge sadness and grief. So grateful to him. My room is so hot, y'all. And so I finally learned how, wait, I gotta open my window. Sorry, give me a second. Woo, because this is hot for me. All right. And so I finally learned how to acknowledge that sadness, that anger, that grief. And that's when my healing began. That's when your healing begins. Not just with a yoni steam, not just with a yoni egg, not just with, every class and program that you're running to and yoni mapping and yoni massage. Like y'all are running out there trying to do everything invasive to heal yourself without doing the very thing you need to do, which is to actually go deeper into yourself. You cannot bypass feeling the shit. Healing is not a thing you do. It's a thing you be. It is feminine. It requires you to go into the unknown places that you have been avoiding going into. Coming out on the other side as your authentic self means acknowledging the places where you have been hurt and devastated and heartbroken. It requires you to go down in to fall down your rabbit hole and to trust that you will make it out on the other side. And you don't have to do this alone. I mean, there are people out there, I mean, me and other people that this is part of what you go through, but you have to go down in order to come back up again. You can't like just be here and rise and ascend without having to go into your shit. I cannot tell you how many times I had to go into my shit. I cannot tell you how many times I've cried on floors, cried in public, on a New York City train, walking down the street, in a bookstore, probably more than once. I cannot tell you how many times I've allowed my children to see me cry for the mothers, to not pretend like everything is okay. Mommy, are you okay? No, I'm sad right now. Can you say that? Can you let them see you, feel your shit and say, I'm sad right now. You know what? I'm angry right now, but I'll be okay. I need to feel through this anger. Can you give me some time? We go in corners and bathrooms, quietly trying to choking ourselves, holding back the sound of our sobs so no one will know the pain that we're in, stuffing it down, and then expecting that a yoni egg is going to pull that shit out? No. You got to cry and let that shit come out of you like a guttural, wounded animal. You have to let it come out of your throat. You have to scream. The first time I screamed, so I was in this program, and it no longer exists. And this is in 2016. And I remember sitting, it's like 300 women, and we were supposed to we're going through this process, and now it's like, and scream and let it out. And the first time this happened, no lie, no shit, these women are around me and they're screaming and they're like, ah, and they're yelling, and I'm frozen. I'm frozen. And I remember sitting and just like it's too much. It was too much. It was too much emotion. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. And I was like, I don't like this. Another time, when same program, I literally had to was trying to get out of the aisle of the auditorium, and I was on the floor of auditorium, and I was trying to back. I couldn't even stand up and walk out. I was trying to back my way up the stairs out of the room, because I could not allow myself to feel that. Now, I did eventually end up screaming. And the freedom that comes with letting yourself feel that thing from your womb space, grabbing your breath, letting it come up through your chest and then out of your throat. The freedom of that sets you free in your body to just walk around screaming, just like, ah, and crying and just letting it come out and just, ah, and letting it go. You will never be the same. Because as women, we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to look like that. We're supposed to and then think that we can somehow not do any of that. I don't want to do any of the stuff that makes me look like crazy face. Like our orgasms, right? I don't want to make that weird face during orgasm. I want to have a nice face. I don't want to have that twisted face. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the oh my God. That face. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. It's just like with our healing, we don't want to do ugly stuff. Yeah. I want my healing to be this really nice journey where I meditate, which means I sit for 5 minutes and I think positive thoughts, positive thoughts, positive thoughts. And if the negative thoughts come in, I go, shoo, shoo, no, no. And if anger comes in, no, no, we don't do anger here. No. And we just stuff that down. And then don't understand why our cramps are abysmal and why fibroids are happening to us and why cysts keep popping up and why we're dry when we're having sex and why we just can't really experience orgasms. Because how can you experience an orgasm if you can't allow yourself to receive? And how can you allow yourself to receive if you won't allow yourself to open? And how can you allow yourself to open if it means all of that other shit comes flooding out? It's all linked. And no healing modality is going to save you from having to feel into the ugly, the dirty, the nasty. Some of y'all really need to be just stomping around, getting it out with good, loud fuck yous out there. Just a good fuck you. I'm so pissed. And you, like, your sensibilities won't even just, you're hoping you can Jesus it away. Like you won't even let yourself go there. And you need to. Because if you don't, you'll be wasting a lot of money and time on yoni steams. You can't steam it out. You can loosen it up, but it's going to stay stuck in there until you decide to do the fucking work. So that's all came to me this morning as I was looking at my yoni steam herbs, and I'm like, and I got the chair and everything, but my pussy's like, that's just not really a necessity. Like, we're good. Like, we're good. Like, we don't need an herbal cleanse. We're good. When I felt like I needed yoni eggs, I got them and I used them. Now I don't feel like I need them. Like, I feel like I'm good. If I feel like I need one, I'll pick one up again. If I feel like I need to do a yoni steam, I'll do one. Do what you're being called to do, not what you just see everybody else doing. Don't do it because you think it's the thing that's going to save you from the things that are going on. Nothing's coming to fucking save you. It took me 40 something years to realize that. No one is coming to save you. You are it. You are it. And if and when a wonderful partner comes along, they're still not coming to save you. They're coming to support you in your journey, and you're supporting them in their journey. I know it sounds beautiful and romantic. They saved me from myself. No, they presented you with an opportunity for you to be reflected back, for you to see you, so you could begin to save yourself. Please understand that, so that you begin to feel like the powerful person that you are. And all of this can apply to men too. I mean, they're doing dick steams now, or lingam steams and all of that. So, men, this applies to you too. No woman's coming to save you. We have to stop saying that. I know it sounds beautiful. You saved you. And that brought that person to your life. And then they continue to help you grow. So none of these modalities will save you from the work of going down into the disgusting pit of shit that you're trying to avoid. I had to go down into my pit. I chose that man. I chose that man because I had low self-esteem at the time. I did not think I was a good person. I thought I was somehow evil and bad. I thought I did everything wrong. I thought I had screwed up my life at 22. I thought I didn't deserve to live. I thought I was not smart. I thought I was powerless. I thought I couldn't change my life. Nothing that you see here when people see me, I felt none of that. I felt like the world would be better off without me. I literally felt like people would be better if I was dead. I had to dig into that. My selfishness, my arrogance. I had to dig into the fact that I thought I was a nice person, but I wasn't, because I had teased people and called them names, things that I would say I'm ashamed of. I had to dig into that. I had to uncover all of that. That's shadow work. I had to recognize where I was angry at myself. I had to recognize where I was angry with other people, because I prided myself on not being mad with other people, and things just wash over me and I just don't get angry. I don't. I'm so special. No, I had to recognize that, where I had let people trample over me, where I was afraid to be powerful, where I was afraid to use my power. You have to dig into that and then deal with the grief of, I can't believe I was fucking like that. Why did I let that happen to me? Why would I do that to my own self? Do I not love myself enough? Then you have to deal with that guilt. And you have to deal with it. The regret, the time lost, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And then you have to accept that where you are right now at 9:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is exactly where you're supposed to be on this journey, and that everything that happened, while painful and hurtful, was and begin to build your life from here, and know that it's not too late for you to do and have and be what you want. That's shadow work. And your yoni steam and your yoni eggs are not going to do all that for you. You have to do that. And then you can incorporate those things if you're called to do them. You can incorporate those things into your healing to assist you with your process. I feel like that's it. I feel like that's it today. Humaning is not easy, but it's fun as fuck when you understand, when you begin to understand the rules to the game. It becomes a beautiful party when you're able to release the need to control everything and just allow yourself to be with what is, to be in acceptance of the anger of it, to be in acceptance of the beauty on the other side of it. Because after every volcanic eruption, the most beautiful and exotic flowers bloom that can be found nowhere else. After all of that spews out of the earth and causes the mayhem and destruction that it does, the most fertile soil is born from that. And what grows is exquisite. You have to go through your volcanic eruptions in order to create the life you want. If that's a path that you're looking for, no, not looking for, no one's looking for that path. We'll be doing quite a bit of this in Vixen. That starts in February. I'll be talking about it on and off, but I'm not really going to be seriously looking at applicants for it until January. But if you're interested, you can DM me and then we can touch base in January. But we're doing this in Vixen. That's why I said it's not really a program. It's like I don't want to call it a program. I'm not programming you. I'm holding space for you so that you can run around and get that shit out, but in a safe space so that you're not doing it alone. So that's what Vixen is. In the meantime, I think we're going to be exploring this in the Coven tomorrow as we prepare for the solstice. I think we need to explore this a little bit in there as well. So I might be posting a video once I gotta, like, my body is doing a thing right now, so I gotta let it relax because it's necessary. Okay, so if you have any questions, my DMs are open. You can feel free to message me. We're not going to do a counseling session, but I will answer your questions and we can definitely have a conversation. If you've been watching this from beginning to end, or if you came in somewhere in the middle, I need you to just stop for a moment. I need you to close your eyes and I need you to take a really deep breath into your solar plexus region through your nose. Just expand your stomach, take a really deep breath in through your nose, and I need you to let it out through your mouth with a big ha. Please don't give me like, ha. Like I need you to like, ha. And I need you to do that for me 2 more times. Just take that deep inhale in through the nose, expand the solar plexus. That's your power center. Ha. One more time, deep breath in through the nose. Whew. Breathe it in, expand that solar plexus chakra, expand it. Ha! Alchemy, baby. Alchemy. You have the power to turn anything in your life from iron to gold. Alchemy. I love you all. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.